What's up, ADT family? Taylor Maris here, back with another edition of my video blog. That's right, I'm not doing my 22 rep videos anymore. Yesterday was the last day doing my 22 reps a day for those vets. Thank God it's over. I suffered quite a bit. I figured this week I'd get my blog back going, and I thought I'd change it up. Instead of motivational, inspirational for those vets, I'm gonna go educational. So I'm gonna pick a movement that I think everybody needs to improve on, unless you're an elite level athlete. Most people don't even try to do it because they don't think they can ever learn to do it, and that's the pull-up. Man or woman, you can learn to do a pull-up. But for whatever reason, and everyone's got their different reasons, they just haven't learned to do that pull-up. Could be need to shed a few pounds, could be just you haven't really tried to put some effort into your pull-up program, or maybe you just don't have the knowledge or the background to figure out where do I start on my progression. Well, I'm gonna show you a progression here for just a few minutes and how you can work up. If you have a gym membership, I'm going to show you the tools that you can use to do this. So we're going to start with first the body row. Most people have seen this, but it's a great place to start building pulling strength. You're going to get under the rack, find a Smith machine or squat rack. Load the bar up about chest level. Your goal is to get inverted, meaning laying back. It's really important that you learn to pull with your scapula and not just your elbows. That's a big problem people have. Too much bicep, not enough upper back. So make sure you're pulling with your lats and the muscles that control your shoulder blades. All right? Most people know this one. Keep your body stiff as a board. Pull those shoulder blades together and then bend at the elbow until the bar gets to your chest. The progression on this one is you start almost standing. As you get better at the movement, whether it's hit a repetition goal, you're going to start moving your feet out. The more inverted you get, the flatter you get, the more weight displaced onto your upper body. That's how you move on through that particular part of the progression. Once you can do a certain amount of reps, in most cases multiple sets of anywhere from 8 to 12 in that range, you then move on to the next progression, which is called the jackknife pull-up. And that's where you're going to be under the same rack, your feet out in front of you, only your hips are going to be closed, all right? Directly under the bar. You're going to make sure you got a neutral spine, and this looks like the beginning of a pull-up. Remember, we're going to pull with our shoulder blades first, not our elbows. If you're a beginner, I highly suggest you bend the knees first. Bend those knees, hips are closed, and when you get to the top, right as your chin gets to the bar, you're going to open the hips up. Notice my hips open up completely. Then bring the hips back to the floor. So notice where that bar is sitting. My butt's barely touching the floor, and I'm completely vertical at the bottom, and I'm completely opened up like a jackknife at the top. As you get better at this movement, you're slowly going to work your feet out until they're completely straight. Once you get to a point where you can actually do multiple sets of anywhere from 8 to 12, 8 to 14 reps with your legs straight out, doing your jackknife pull-up, that's the full-blown one, then I'll do things like I'll raise my client's feet in the air. This is a really great way to add some intensity. Now we're stepping it up a notch, making it a little tougher, okay? Now that the feet are up, we're really struggling because now all the weight is on my arms and my lats, and you're still going to try to do the same thing. Your feet are probably going to slide a little if it's a bench or a box. That's okay. You're just going to let your feet slide a little, okay? Once you can do multiple sets, anywhere from 3 to 5 sets, 8 to 12, 8 to 14 reps, that's a sign you can move on to the next thing. This is where I'd advise you to invest in a pull-up band. You can find one of these for 20 bucks, anywhere from 15 to 25 bucks at your local sporting goods store. Take it with you to the gym. Keep it in your gym bag. You're going to tie it around the crossbar. This is where you can start doing real deal pull-ups. You're going to put it underneath the arch of your foot. Right now we're going to say just an overhand grip. It's very important when you start doing pull-ups hanging. Midline strength plays a huge role now. So you need to be able to stay tight here, squeezing your butt, firing your quads from top to bottom. Otherwise you're going to start being out of control trying to get to the top. So if you notice, when I hang, I get really tight in my trunk, and my hips are actually slightly closed. They're not completely opened up, so that I'm not flailing about. So that when I pull, I'm in complete control of my body. Again, we're not going to start from the elbows. Come here, closer, get closer. You're not going to start by pulling from the elbows. You're going to start by pulling the shoulder blades down and back. That's where that begins. If you don't feel your lats, go ahead and squeeze that bar tight with your pinky and your ring finger, or even better yet, get a partner to walk up and poke you when you're pulling right there in your lats, because that's where the power comes from Keep the hips closed and tight. Lead with the shoulder blades, chin above bar. So now with the band, this is where you got a lot of work to do. And it can take you months with this sucker before you really can go without it. But you got tactics you can use. One of the tactics I use with clients is called the max out set method. That means that you pick a day where you do 5 sets of maxed out reps, and you're trying to increase those max reps until you get anywhere from 10 to 12 or 10 to 14 reps before you move on to the next progression, okay? That means either going without a band or going from the jackknife pull-up to the band. The other method I use is called the pyramid method. That means that you're gonna line up on your progression move, you're gonna do 1 rep, wait about 30 seconds, then you're gonna do 2. Wait about 30 seconds, then you're gonna do 3. You're gonna repeat this until you can't complete any more. Then you're gonna wait about 2 or 3 minutes, and you're gonna do a max out set, 1 more, okay? Once you can get your numbers, again, up between 8 and 12, or at least the 10 to 12 range, you know it's time to move on to that next progression. So these are the progressions you can work on and follow. You can work on it anywhere from 2 to 3 days a week. Give yourself a little rest on the days in between. I would say a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. That's a great way to piece this progression together. So that's all I got this week. Tune in next week. We're back with the bang on these vlogs, folks.